Right, I've just done a little Mayan themed book review where I talk about some of these books about Aztec and um, mostly Aztec culture. We're now going to just have readings from a few of them. Not you, not you. Uh, yes. Or I could open this book anywhere. A short account of the destruction of the Indies by Fray Bartolome de las Casas. Um, right, Bernal Diaz writes. I literally just opened this kind of a random. New Spain was discovered Anno Domini 1517, New Spain meaning Mexico, and in the detection there was no first or second attempt, but all were exposed to slaughter. The year ensuing, those Spaniards, who styled themselves Christian, came thither to rob, kill, and slay, though they pretend they undertook this voyage to people the country. From the year 1518 to the present, in 1542, the injustice, violence, and tyranny of the Spaniards came to the highest degree of extremity, for they had shook hands with and bid adieu to all fear of God and King, unmindful of themselves in this sad and deplorable condition. The destructions, cruelties, butcheries, devastations, the demolishing of cities, depredations, and etc., which they perpetrated, in so many and such ample kingdoms, are such and so great, and strike the minds of men with so great horror, that all we have related before are inconsiderable compared to those which have been acted between the year 1518 and 1542. To this very month of September that we now live to see, the most heavy, grievous, and detestable things are committed. Um, it describes terrorizing the Indians with dogs, burning them, mass graves. Um, there's a moving account of an Indian who there has engravings as well. Indiscriminate murder of men, women, and infants. There's I should have bookmarked this one actually. There's a lovely description of an Indian chief who's being burnt on the pyre after resisting the Spanish, um, and they said, "Would you like to confess your sins and convert to Christianity?" And he said, "Why would I confess my sins?" Speaking through an interpreter, and they said, "Well, then you can enter heaven." And he said, "Is that where the Christians go?" And they said, "Yes." And he said, "I don't want to confess my sins." Um, Badass. Anyway, it's very sad. 15 poets of the Aztec world. So we're going to read a little bit of poetry from Nezapolcoyotl. If I can, yes, here we go. Which means dog with a fasting collar. So coyotl is dog, like coyote. That's where we get coyote from. Um, Avocado also comes from Nahuatl. Chipotle is a Nahuatl word. There's a few others. Axolotl, if you know what that is. It's a sort of an amphibian that's indigenous to Mexico. Uh, Tomato. Anyway. Nezapal coatl. So the coatl bit is dog, and the Nezapal bit means with a fasting collar. So in Aztec society, they did religious fasting, and when you were fasting, you would wear a paper collar that would tell everyone that you were fasting, so people would know not to offer you food and that you weren't eating not because you didn't like the food, just because you were fasting. So his he was Nezahualcóyotl, I should say, was the prince of one of the three. So the Aztec Empire, as we know it, is really called the Triple Alliance, and there were three parts to the Triple Alliance, and Nezahualcóyotl was ruled one of those three parts. So he was one of the three top leaders. Um, Tenochtitlan was the most significant entity, and the ruler of Tenochtitlan is what we think of as the Aztec Emperor. And Nezahualcóyotl was the ruler of another state, Texcoco, that's right, that was just nearby. And then Tlatelolco was the last of the three city-states that made up the Triple Alliance. So, uh, I might, yeah, I think I might cut here actually because I've I'm going to say something out of the oven.